Mark, thanks. Yesterday we told you about Robert Finnegan, the veteran from Kingsport, facing a rent hike more than double his current rate. Today we're hearing more from the people who work in housing assistance who say Finnegan's story is no longer unique in the Tri-Cities. News Channel 11's John Janko joins us in the studio with more on the problems some renters are facing. John?
Yeah, Sarah, a hot Tri-Cities rental market is driving these out-of-state sales and rent hikes. But the housing assistance experts we spoke with say that's leaving some renters, particularly those on the lower end of the economic spectrum, with nowhere to go. They say there's no sign the market is slowing down anytime soon.
I worry for folks who are living on the edge. You know, they live on the edge and all it takes is one strong breeze to blow them off, and there's no safety net.
Family Promise of Greater Johnson City works firsthand with those families on the edge. Executive Director Bob Hall says many of the at-risk families they help come from situations like Robert Finnegan's.
The landlord sold our building. We were tenants, we were doing fine, and the landlord sold our building and we got to leave.
It's a story that was uncommon to Hall until the last 2 years. As real estate investment trusts or REITs buy up property in the Tri-Cities, legal aid attorney Jack Inman says there's little tenants can do.
They have tons of resources, tons of money. I mean, the power imbalance between a REIT and a tenant on fixed income is incredible.
In South Johnson City, Los Angeles-based Standifer Capital spent more than $14 million to acquire the Blue Ridge and Stoneybrook apartment complexes this year. But in those two complexes are at least 52 families living in Section 8 federally assisted housing, now at risk of eviction as tax credits that required some units be set aside for Section 8 have expired.
That's when we get these private investors that come in and purchase these properties and increase the rent.
Johnson City Housing Authority Executive Director Sam Edwards says his office is trying to work with Standifer to find a solution for those families. But he says the fair market rates that make up Section 8 payments and the administrative burden are a hard sell.
It's very difficult to, present our case to someone that, sees that high potential of income for their property. When we have a few tools that we can use, it usually doesn't compare to the income that they can make.
In this hot market, it's not just those Section 8 families facing steep rents. A recent Johnson City study on housing needs found over 45% of Johnson City renters are considered rent burdened, spending over 30% of their income on rent. The market is making it harder to find an affordable rental, and it could continue to push people to the brink.
People's incomes have not kept up with that pace. Inflation's gone up, but the rental market has outpaced inflation. And incomes, quite frankly, haven't even kept up with inflation.
JCHA's Edwards says leaders in affordable housing are working on potential strategies to ease that problem, including incentivizing landlords. But Inman said the private sector holds most of the cards, and Standifer Capital hasn't responded to our emails asking about their openness to retaining Section 8 for their South Johnson City properties. Sarah.
John, thanks. Now you can read more about the rental market and check out our story from yesterday on our website, WJHL.com.